I'm trying to think. One thing I do remember about playing that solo, and especially about the rehearsal in Sanders, the first rehearsal, because we went to the class twice. The first class we went to was like the first time we saw the music, and the second time was the performance, the premiere. And the one thing I do remember about playing the solo and rehearsing it was that Sanders is such a big space, and I had to really work hard to fill the space. And it's very different than playing with an ensemble of even a few more people. And Matt's writing is really beautiful and lyrical, and I just remember having to balance that lyrical quality that I was trying to get in my playing with the sort of responsibility of making sure that everyone in the hall could hear it. And I guess I sort of felt that responsibility particularly acutely because it was the first time anyone was hearing it, and if I didn't play it in a way that made sense to people or play it in a comprehensible way, then that would really affect everyone's perception of the piece and maybe create some tension between what Matt was intending and what the audience was getting. So that is the one thing that I remember, being particularly conscious of, just trying to work really hard to play it accurately and well enough and loud enough that it could be heard. By lyrically, I just mean playing, with a really beautiful sound, with a really sweet sound. It can, have almost a delicate quality to it. And I guess the physical difference between that, or the tension between that and filling a big hall, is that when you're trying to play a string instrument loudly, you really have to sort of bear down with the weight of your right arm and really work hard. It's pretty physical to produce a large sound. And that can end up sounding kind of crunchy or forced if you're not really careful about the nuance of it. What I think is something that sometimes people struggle with about classical music is really, we have all of this repertoire that's been around for years and years, and we have recordings of it, and people have really, the professionals and the virtuosos have come and gone, and played so much of this music for so long that really sometimes people wonder what's the point of a live performance or a live audience. And I think I remember him touching on that in his sort of end of semester wrap up, and hoping that the class had sort of learned something new about how they felt about classical music. And in a time when a lot of people don't think they have strong feelings about it. And him saying that he hoped the class had, maybe thought more about why they might like a live performance, or why a live performance might be something that does interest them, even if they, at the beginning of the semester, had not been so interested in that kind of, classical music. And that was pretty exciting for me to hear and think about as a classical musician, doing something that a lot of people think is a semi-dying art. I don't agree with that. But it was exciting to think about, and also to have really realized that I just participated in something totally new in an art form that is sometimes thought of as pretty old.